Good morning, Otherworldlies. This is Juliana Angel, your Dark Mask Diva. Alright, so here's another story time. Okay, I think you guys like those. So this is something that happened quite a while ago. Alright, I was a young adult when this happened. This happened with me and my friend Leonard. When we had to be about 19 or 20. We were pretty young. Okay. So, my friend Leonard had a younger brother named Owen. Okay, so, Owen was like his much younger brother, and Owen was like a bratty younger brother, and Leonard was the eldest brother, right? So, we were walking by, and, Owen was staying at this house that was this really creepy looking house. It was this, it wasn't like a Victorian house, but it was a really old house, and it was painted light blue. So Leonard and I are walking by this house, and he goes, "That's where my brother Owen stays." I go, "Oh, the one who calls you a butthole?" And he goes, "Yeah, that same one." And so we had a kind of a laugh, and he goes, "I never should have rescued him from that tornado. Never thought that we'd grow up and he'd call me Boho." I go, "He still calls you that?" And he goes, "Yeah. I thought he'd grow out of it when we were kids, but he still sees me and goes, Boho." I go, "Let's go say hi." And he goes, "Oh no." He goes, "You're not afraid of ghosts, but I am." And I went, "Wait a minute. I don't go looking for ghosts. There's a ghost in that house?" He goes, "There's at least one, if not more." I'm like, "Come on, there's not a ghost in that house." And he goes, "There's a ghost in that house." So I said, "Well, tell me about that ghost." And he goes, "Well, okay. So Owen and his roommate live there." And I go, "You know what? Stop." I go, "You're just saying that because you don't want to go see Owen. You don't like him. You're always talking about you never should have rescued him from the tornado. He calls you a butthole. And I think you need to get over it. Let's just go say hi to him." And he goes, "There really is a ghost in that house. You want to hear about it or not?" I'm like, "Okay." So he goes, "Owen comes over and tells my folks about it all the time. And they keep telling him to move out. And he talks about it and says it keeps getting worse and worse. And he says every night, he and his friend that live there can hear people walking all over all night. They hear footsteps, they hear creaking." And I go, "Yeah." I go, "It's a really old house." And he goes, "But they feel like they can hear people walking around all night, and it creeps them out, and they hear this all this." I go, "Yeah, but don't you think that sounds kind of like something from like a scary movie or something, like they might be exaggerating?" He goes, "No." He goes, It's almost like they think they hear the toilet flushing, and they hear like it's almost like they think they hear the fridge opening and closing, and the doors in the house opening and closing, and and they hear creaking on the stairs and all this kind of stuff." I go, "Yeah, it sounds like there's real people in the house." And they go, "Yeah, but it's ghosts in the house. They don't see any people." I go, "Ew." And they go, "Yeah." So it's crazy, and he goes, and then stuff started missing, and I go, "I think they're getting broken into." He goes, No, it's not like the TV's missing. It's not like anything of any worth is missing. It's like a piece of food will be missing, or someone will move something, or something like that." I go, "I think the roommate is playing a joke on Owen. You said Owen's kind of a pain in the A. Like, he just, he does stupid stuff like calls you that name and stuff like that. I think he's getting pranked on." He goes, "No, it's weird because why are both of them hearing that noise all night? It's weird. It's been going on for months." So every time we walked by the house, it just kind of, it's a creepy house. And every once in a while, I thought of knocking on the door and saying hi. I'm not going to go, if it really is a haunted house, I'm not going to go over there looking for trouble. I mean, because I do see ghosts sometimes, but it's not like I go looking for the ghosts, you know what I'm saying? If I see one, I see one. So, a few months go by. Leonard said it's getting worse and worse. I go, I feel so bad for your brother. And he goes, you know what? That's what my brother gets for being a jerk. Ha ha. His house is haunted. I go, I can't believe you're like wishing that on him. And he goes, well, he's a little jerk, you know. I go, he's just a bratty little brother. That's how they are. You know, they call you names, and he's just trying to get under your skin. He goes, I rescued him from a tornado, and what do I get? I get called a butthole. That's what I get. I never should have rescued him from the tornado. I go, yes, you should have. Come on. Getting called a butthole is not like the worst thing in the world. Okay? Now he has ghosts in his house. So, every time, you know, I talk to Leonard, so what's going on in the haunted house? So one day he goes, well, finally, Owen gets up in the middle of the night and decides to get a midnight snack. He goes in, he flips on the light in the kitchen. There, standing with the open door in the fridge, is a homeless guy. He finds out that the homeless guy's been living in the attic. There's your ghost. So he goes, he gets a broom, and he starts beating the crap out of the homeless guy with a broom. I go, oh my God. He goes, yeah. And so he goes upstairs, and there's a second homeless guy. And all over it, and it turns out they've been living in the attic for a long time, and he can tell because of all the stuff that's in the attic. He goes, it's almost like they had more stuff in the attic than both of the other guys had in the whole entire house. So they'd been living up there for a really long time. In fact, he thinks they've been living there since the previous tenants had been living in the rest of the house. Okay, so those homeless guys have been staying up there for a really, really long time. All right, so Owen goes up there and starts hitting them with brooms and chasing them out. And he said he found jars of poop and pee and all kinds of stuff up there. And I said, wouldn't it be like better if he started throwing the jars of poop and pee at them? That would have made them leave forever. And he goes, you're totally evil. And I go, that would have made them leave forever. I mean, I would leave if someone threw jars of poop and pee at me and not just hit me with a broom. I mean, a broom is you hit like a cat or dog with and make them leave. And they go, rear, 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 and they never come back. But if someone was hitting me and throwing jars of my own poop and pee at me, I would never come back to a house. I'm just saying that. That would make me leave for good. But they don't make brooms like they did in Grandma's day. They just make those flimsy kind now. They don't make the good ones that they hardly pick up any dust at all. You have to sweep and sweep and sweep. And he goes, their encampment up in that attic was major. He goes, now I know what all that noise was because they had a bunch of stuff up there. I go, yeah, like a whole bathroom setup apparently. And he goes, yeah. He goes, it was major up there. They had a major setup going on up there. And I said, okay, well, there's your haunted house. I go, now, you don't have to be scared. Owen doesn't have to be scared. He goes, it took them forever to clean up their attic setup and get rid of all the jars of poop and pee. And I said, well, now you have to change the locks. I go, because those homeless people have keys to the house. Okay, so they're leaving, they're bringing back food. They probably go to the food bank. All right, they've been eating food out of your fridge. He goes, yeah, now I know where it's disappearing. They're going to the food bank. They probably bring other homeless people up there. That's why you're hearing so much noise up there, bro. You know, and he goes, yeah. He goes, well, now your house isn't haunted. And he goes, that doesn't mean the house isn't haunted. He goes, we just hear a bunch of homeless people up there. He goes, it's a creepy house. Who knows what's been going on in there? So, I don't know. They don't know if it's still a haunted house or not, or if it's just a homeless encampment or what. But that town has a lot of homeless people, has a lot of squatters. They lived there for months and months and months before they figured out those homeless people were there, but they were there for a long time and managed to hide for a long time. and scare my friend's brother for a really long time before they finally caught him. But I'm sure you guys probably know somebody that happened to. But yeah, I don't know if he still calls him a butthole though. But I know he sure didn't like it. But that's all for that story. And that house is still there. It's a very old house. And you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next content. Bye-bye.